the good Lord said, try to love one another. It's all about the give and the take. And if all you do is take, then you need to stop complaining. Just 'cause the sun don't shine, quit your whining and your crying. Try to feed a hungry child. And what about Darfur? Is there anybody out there trying to stop people from dying? Tear down this wall, life is too short. Let's declare peace, not war. A new day is knocking, baby, open up the door. Try to make things a little better than before. Just every voice.
But he gave so much to the world. And this picture shows that I still am in the best place that I can be. I'm with God now, yes, Mom. Yes. I'm watching over you now, Mom. You know, and his death didn't bring more tragedy or didn't bring more devastation. It made me whole again.
Now that's something I never considered.
It gave me what I needed to continue putting my life together.
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
I have the peace now to know that this guy will never be on the streets again to do what he did. His sentence was life without the possibility of parole.
Thank you, Jesus.
So, to know that God has all power over everything, I know that. And he brought the justice that he told me that he would bring.
He did.
I had my kid's father, who once he got out of prison, he went to Detroit looking for this guy. He went with cocktail bottles to throw on this man's family and burn them up.
He didn't do it, really?
No, he didn't do it. Because I told him we would be no better than him if we took a life the same way he took our son. God said vengeance is his, and we have to allow God, no matter how long it takes.
It's true. It might not be in our time.
It might not be in our timing, but it will happen. And it did. And God showed me that, and he revealed to me in many instances, I haven't forgotten you, my child.
No.
I haven't forgotten you.
And you know what? You're paying this forward. What are you doing now? You're working with the Women's Resource Center.
Yes. I went back to school, and I got my associate's degree. Then I went further. I went to Grand Valley State University, and I got my bachelor's degree in sociology. And now I am working with women who deal with substance abuse problems and prostitution in the Kent County Correctional Facility. I work for the Women's Resource Center, but the program that I do is called the New Beginnings Program, and it's a wonderful program. But God said I would give you the desires of your heart. He has gave me every
There's more.
Every
Don't
desire.
worry, it's not over.
It has always been my passion to come from being downtrodden.
Yeah, underdog.
You know, but God says I have to take you through to get you where I'm trying to get you to.
I never realized that when I was in the
Yes.
low valley.
Yes.
Like, what am I doing here? Why?
You know, out of 11 children, being the only black sheep, you know, because I couldn't see, Lord, I was a grade A student. I did this, I did X, I did Y, and Z. How do you allow me to be the one to be out here doing all this crazy stuff? And
it's not you, and you knew it wasn't you.
But he said, I have to allow you to grow through these things to get you to the place that I'm taking you to. And now he has me in that place, and now I see why he allowed me to go through to get those experiences under my belt, to be able to do the powerful things and the godly things that I'm doing in my life now, so that he may get the glory for everything.
Amen. How do you think I feel? Here I am talking God and guns.
Yes.
Me? How do you he chose me for this thing, okay? Talking about guns. Okay. I never owned a gun. I've never shot a real gun in my life. I played with a lot of guns. I was a tomboy. I had a lot of toy guns. Played, we had cap guns. We had the ones with the yellow, the circle things that
I know,
fling.
the little squirt
yellow-
guns,
yes,
whatever.
The BB pellet. I mean, the yellow plastic
Yes.
pellets that we shot at each
Okay.
other.
Yes, we did. But the thing about it is, even with this documentary, it's still God.
It is.
It's He. I mean, I didn't know you from Adam. Didn't know
Gayle Pollard.
I didn't know either one of you. And to get a phone call to say, well, we would like for you to be a part, but God.
You
He,
must have expected it.
I
Did you
didn't.
have a
I've never had a clue as to where I would be
Where he's gonna direct
interviewing. But he says, I will take you some places to where you never thought you'd be, and I can use you so that His light may shine through me and through you.
gifts?
So, and even doing this documentary, it's His will
It is.
to use Timmy's life to give back, what the devil thought he stole from us. So to use Timmy's life to shed light on this violence that plagues our streets.
I was so, after the Sandy Hook shooting and the 20 kids and the 6 teachers, my family is full of teachers. My mother was a teacher. My father was a teacher. My brother is a professor, the first doctor of education. All 3 of my nieces are teachers. They wanted me to be a teacher, but I write and illustrate children's books. That's what I do. I love interacting with youth, young people. And I'm a musician, and I just never, I never thought that I would be the one to try to make peace with the gun issue.
Now, like when you go back to the Bible and you look at John and Job and Peter and all those
Nice guys.
in the Bible, we're the same people that God is using, just like He used them back in the
didn't have a
days.
clue,
The
did they?
disciples.
It's like,
You
what?
you never would have thought, use me, but God said, I can take you and your story. You were a wretch, but you are the most powerful because you are the most likely to be able to reach these people.
And I said, how? I'm like, how?
Well, he's shown you how. He's answered your question.
This is it.
you know?
Timmy,
Yeah.
I'm going to bring Timmy. This is going to be one of my new BFFs. Timmy's going to be a BFF. I am a photographer by degree. I went to Grand Valley State, graduated from Grand Valley in 1995, and I love portraiture, okay? Before I was out, and I've always been a musician. I just didn't know I could make a living as a musician. Otherwise, I'd be playing in somebody's band or orchestra right now. But I rap and sing. So I was actually, when I was out in my addiction and I was getting high, I was wasting my gifts that I was given.
We all
my
were.
rap and sing and my drumming. I went to Michigan State Marching Band. I was in the block snare my first year out, my freshman year. And I didn't know that I would be used because I was just following the program. You go to college, you get your job,
Right.
and you go. But that sidetrack that he took me down into some of the most
lowest
unbelievable-
valley.
The lowest valley. I prayed. I was getting high with the Bible
Yeah.
and praying,
Yes.
please stop this.
Yes.
Help me. That day that I prayed, getting high with the Bible, that was the last time I got high
Okay.
with cocaine. The taste, all
Just
the
went away.
prayers. I don't
But-
worry about it. I don't. If it was a plate full right here, I mean, I could probably. One thing you would never think about is tossing a bunch of, blow in the air, like in the movie.
Yeah, well,
those days.
a lot of that, we look at our kids today and we see this violence, but we don't see the pain that these
no.
children endure. Most of them are children raising children. They
no
don't
guidance.
have the stability or the guidance or the direction. as to what to do. They maybe have 2 or 3 kids that they laid down and got pregnant and had, and they have no way of
No
taking care of them
resources.
or anything. And they're continuously being abused by the male, the more dominant figure in the home. And children only know what they see when they grow up.
What they learn.
So they're conditioned that this is okay behavior. So then you have those children who are following this behavior of domestic violence and abuse in the home, who grow up angry and bitter because
It's a cycle.
their mom allowed them, and they get out in the streets, and then the streets begin to raise them and tell them, if you want to eat, you have to do this.
It's hard to trust in God.
It's a vicious cycle out there.
And the
And-
devil is so cunning and will give you what you want anytime. You just have to ask.
He masquerades.
Masquerades.
He masquerades. And, you know, we have to be willing to step outside of our comfort zones to get the message out that God is real.
He is.
He is real.
And
Um,
I don't even know how. I'm trying my best to. I mean, I want to reach out to people, and I'm starting with this.
Yes.
This is my start to disciple, because when
but
you
it,
get
it,
the
it goes
message-
further, because you know you're in the churches and you're in your little comfort zone, and you're looking at it as though,
Give your
excuse me,
blessings.
but you have the people who don't want to go out into the highways and the byways where the people sleeping under the bridge and the people standing on the street corners because they feel like they're better. But you weren't always put together either. God put you together and brought you back to whole.
And
Now it's your turn to go out here and help somebody
there's
else.
a purpose.
Because we can't just do it by way of television. We can't just do it by way of the new technology and all that. People want to see how compassionate are people. Are they willing to go this far for me? So when you go out in the cold and you're standing out on the street corners with them and you're telling them about God and you're telling them, that says something to them. Wow, they want to come out here and help me and do this. Maybe I will give God a try. When a person is able to see God's light shine through your life, that's powerful.
That's for you to guide people.
That's powerful.
is
But
for
when
people
you
to see.
have so many people to talk about it, but don't be about it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, one of my favorite lines is "Faith without works is
Works,
dead,
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 dead, dead."
I want
Yes.
to, you know, I can't just go to church
Right,
and
and-
pop my little collar and I'm sitting there.
You know, go home,
singing
take off
the
your church
songs.
clothes, and then now you're sitting back up here with a beer
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
football
saying?
and all that.
And not to say that
It's not-
nobody's perfect, because nobody
And,
nobody but Jesus is perfect. But we have to start doing more for our children and stepping out of our comfort zones in order to end the violence on our streets.
That is a way that I think I am going to look at this whole thing. Barbara Thomas, you have given me a hope that I can do something, that I can
You
make a
will.
difference.
You're making a difference now.
And you're making a difference by being my guest.
Thank you.
My first guest on my first show. And I really, and WKTV, I really have to say that this is my home. This is my home. That these people allowed me to come in and be a volunteer back in the day when we built this studio. It's in a new location than it was before, and they've just grown. Look at all these awards. They
I
have
see.
awards year after year after year, because you know what? This is the public access. This is the public voice.
Okay.
And our tax dollars go, just like everybody else in the city, we have freedom of speech, and we can come here and we can discuss matters that are important to us.
Well, I'm glad that violence was a matter that was important to you. Okay.
And I think that is a good way to end this segment with my new BFF
Yeah.
and my Timothy. And in the future, what I would like to do with this show, every time you see me, every episode after this, I hope to have a new friend or even more than one new friend. And I'm a photographer, you know. My degree at Grand Valley State is in photography and communications. I want to bring these people back, you know, from the, I guess the realm of the forgotten. I don't want any of them to be forgotten. The kids at Sandy Hook, that may have been a catalyst, but the Chicago, the Hydea Pendletons, you know, the Mike Browns, and
Yes.
the, you know, Trayvon Martins, those people
So many.
are, I want to be their voice too. So when you see me, trust that they are all behind me, and they're not going to be forgotten.
Okay.
They're not going to be forgotten.
Thank you.
Yay! That's it. Yes. Okay. That's a wrap.